Thanks, ma'am. Yeah, today what we'll do is we'll do that cost audit which is remaining. Then there is one manner of selection of an auditor. Thereafter, the case studies which are pending. Mm, Thereafter, I think everything is done. Then we make list of sections of company audit. Finally, we finish company audit, and depending upon whatever is the time remaining, we people start with that chapter number 2, which is there, which is a small chapter. So that depends upon what is the time remaining and how much we can do of that particular chapter. That is the agenda for the day. What is happening to you, man? Okay, come on. Shall we? Okay, now help me. The question that we people started off yesterday with was nothing but mention the points or situations or the factors where the joint auditors are always jointly and severally responsible. Acha, can you tell me how many such points are there? 6, correct. Can you tell me first is when the work is not divided? Acha, second, decisions taken by all, correct. Third, matter brought by one but agreed by all, correct. Next, whether the financial statements comply with the relevant statutes, whether the presentation and disclosure is as per the financial reporting framework, and whether the auditor's report complies with the relevant statute and according to standards on auditing. So how many points are there? 6, correct. Thereafter, if you remember, we had done audit committee. I don't know whether it will be below that or not, but let us just discuss. When you talk about audit committee was covered by which section? Yeah, correct. Section 177. Correct. Acha, how do you remember audit committee? हम साथ साथ है, correct. Can I say basically साथ साथ is 7 7? Come on, yeah. Acha, audit committee is applicable to all the companies, no? No. Can I say audit committee is applicable only to 2 companies? Which 2 companies? One is listed, another is unlisted public. Acha, listed when, yeah? Correct. Can I say it is compulsory? So there is conditions or no conditions? No conditions. If you are listed, then it is straight away compulsory. Acha, what if you are unlisted public company? Then conditions are there. How many? 3. Perfect. Can you tell me which 3? Can I say it is PUSK, loan, and turnover? PUSK how much? Greater than equal to 10 CR. Loan greater than equal to 50 CR. Turnover greater than or equal to 100 CR. Acha, you have to satisfy all the conditions or anyone? Anyone. So can I say these are and conditions or conditions? Or conditions. So out of these 3, even if you satisfy any one, then it is compulsory for the unlisted company to have an audit committee. Perfect. Acha. If you people remember, I also linked that to rotation. Huh? If you remember, rotation also is applicable, but to 3 companies: listed, unlisted, and private. I hope it is listed compulsory, unlisted and private. You already know how to remember. पुश क्लोन 10 50 50 50. अच्छा, by the way, I told you how to remember also. हम साथ साथ है तो 2 साथ साथ तो 2 companies 3 conditions. On the other hand, in rotation, companies 3 but conditions only 2. Perfect. Thereafter, I think what we had done is under what circumstances the retiring auditor can not be reappointed. Can you tell me how many such circumstances are there? 5. Correct. Can I say firstly when he is correct? Can I say his term is over? Okay. Okay. Apart from that, when he is disqualified. Okay. Next, when he has expressed unwillingness to continue. What do you mean by unwillingness? Can I say he has given a resignation basically? He does not want to continue. Acha, when? Correct. No resolution is passed to reappoint him. Or resolution is passed, but either to appoint someone else or it is given in the resolution that the retiring auditor should not be reappointed. Then in all these cases, the retiring auditor can be reappointed or cannot? Cannot. Perfect. Acha. Thereafter, I think what we people did was Caro, if I'm not wrong. Acha. As far as your Caro is concerned, let us discuss quickly, briskly. Firstly, I hope you realize, Caro, what do you mean by that? 3 simple words can you give me? Correct. Can I say it is additional reporting responsibility? Correct. Whose responsibility? Auditors. Correct. Acha. By the way, it is given by whom? Central government. Under which section? 143.11. Acha, how many clauses are there? 16. The auditor, acha, how do you remember? Caro 2016, 16 clauses, no? Yeah. Acha, think and answer. The auditor has to report only when he is not satisfied. No. Can I say the auditor has to report whether he is satisfied or whether he is not satisfied? Acha, what if a particular clause is not applicable to the company? Still he will write, but he will write that it is not applicable. But when you count all the clauses, the total number of clauses has to be 16. Acha. Thereafter, basically, I hope it is as far as this Caro is concerned, he will include in the main report or it will be an annexure. Annexure. What is annexure? Correct. It is basically like an attachment, supplementary. Correct. So once his report is over, after the report, you can see the annexure to the report. And in that annexure to the report, you will see Caro reporting, which is 16 matters. Thereafter, important part, which was applicability of Caro. As far as Caro is concerned, it is applicable to all the companies, including foreign companies. Now think and answer. Is it applicable to foreign companies? Yes, this comes in the examination for 2 marks correct, incorrect question. That Caro is applicable to foreign companies or not. Obviously, it is applicable to a foreign company. Achha. Thereafter, it is not applicable to 6 companies. Correct. Which? Banking, insurance, OPC, Section 8, small company, and private limited company. If you remember, for private limited company, we had made a chart. You remember? Now I don't know where that chart is. It is like helter-skelter everywhere. Yeah. Because so much we people had done, I don't know where it is, but at least you should remember. You have it in your notes now. You can just see from there. It's fine. As far as your private company is concerned, just check. There will be 3 branches. I hope first is the holding of a public company. Next is the subsidiary of the public company, and next are balance companies. When I say balance companies, it means neither they are holding nor they are subsidiary of a public company. Now, if your private company is either a holding of a public company or a subsidiary of a public company, we say that it is a deemed to be public company. And if it is deemed to be public company, then obviously Caro is applicable. But when you talk about balance companies, then what will happen? Can you say directly not applicable? No. Can I say there you will have to check conditions? Correct. So ultimately, how many conditions are there? 3 conditions. First, push plus reserves should be less than equal to 1 CR. Important to understand that there is plus reserves. I hope as up till now there was never reserves, but this is the first time that reserves has come. So push plus reserve should be less than equal to 1 CR. And outstanding loans or borrowing should be less than equal to 1 CR. And turnover should be less than equal to 10 CR. Important. You have to satisfy any one or all the 3. All the 3. Because I hope these are not or conditions. These are and conditions. Acha. Now, if all the 3 are satisfied, then what? Correct. Then Caro will be not applicable. Perfect. So if you satisfy all the 3, then not applicable. And any one is not satisfied, then Caro will become applicable. So if they ask you nothing but a question or a short note on applicability of Caro 2016, you should be able to write everything. Starting from it is applicable to all the companies, including foreign companies. However, it is not applicable to the following companies. All cool? Acha. Is Caro applicable to consolidated financial statements? No. Why no? Correct. It is because it is already applicable individually. Since it is applicable individually, it is not applicable collectively. Acha. Is Caro applicable to the branches? Yes. If you people appreciate, if I'm the auditor of the head office, you are the auditor of the branch. I have to report on 16 matters of the head office. You will have to report on the 16 matters of the branch. And when do you check the status of the company? Correct. You check it on the balance sheet date. Which balance sheet date? Of the year that you are auditing. So if you're auditing the financial year 2019-20, then you have to check the balance sheet of 31st March 2020. Thereafter, clauses. I hope realize these are matters which are covered. Obviously, they are important, 2 to 4 marks as such. Acha. Obviously, some of them are covered at final CA, some of them are covered in company law. So whatever is the balance independent parts, we people have covered. Come on, answer first. First is fixed assets. Can I say you'll have to check whether the maintenance of proper records is done or not? Whether physical verification is done or not. By the way, who will do physical verification? Management. Auditor will check whether management is doing properly or not. Thereafter, whether the title deeds for immovable properties are held or not. What do you mean by title deeds? Ownership papers. Perfect. What about inventory? Can I say here we'll have to check whether inventory is physically verified by the management properly or not? Can I say if you know fixed assets, you definitely know inventory. Achha. Thereafter, ultimately, I hope realize your cost records. So here the auditor will have to check whether the company to whom cost audit is applicable, whether that company has maintained the cost records or not. Thereafter, statutory dues. This was a bit important. What do you mean by statutory due? Can I say any amount which is payable under law? Examples: income tax, sales tax, excise, customs, GST, service tax. Okay. Similarly, you can say late payment of nothing but I hope realize late fees, then interest on the late payment, etc. Now use common sense. Your statutory due is of two types. One, undisputed. Second, disputed. When you talk about undisputed, it means I hope there is no dispute between the assessee and the authority. So obviously the company should be regular in the payment. If the company is not regular in the payment, then whatever are the arrears, that has to be disclosed, especially those which are outstanding for greater than perfect 6 months from the due date. Not bad, yeah. You remember. On the other hand, when you talk about disputed statutory due, what the auditor will do? Disputed means what? The authority and the assessee, they have a dispute. So are you going to pay that? No, you're not going to pay that. You're not going to clear that till the time the dispute is not settled. So ultimately, I hope realize two things have to be disclosed. One, the amount and the forum with which it is pending. What do you mean by forum? The authority or the department. Correct. Acha, if I just represent to the department, that is a dispute, right? No. Why? Correct. I hope as it is just a representation. It is not a dispute. You are doing the representation so that there is no dispute. Hmm. Next, default in the repayment of loan. So simple. If the company has taken a loan, then ultimately, I hope as the auditor will check whether the repayment is regular or not. If it is not regular, the company has defaulted, then the period for which the default is made and the amount of default which is made has to be reported. Thereafter, public offer. This also, company can raise money by way of various sources. It can be IPO, it can be FPO, it can be issue of debentures, it can be term loans. Whatever money you people have raised, can I say it has to be utilized for some purpose? Auditor will check whether it is utilized for the same purpose or not. If it is not utilized for the same purpose, then details have to be given. And if any rectification has happened, that details also should be given. Thereafter, fraud. If you remember, I told you fraud on or by the company. What do you mean by fraud on or by the company? Very simple. I hope realize on the company means company is the sufferer. By the company means company is making somebody else suffer. So if there is any fraud on or by the company reported, then ultimately auditor has to report two things: the nature of the fraud and the amount of the fraud. By the way, this reporting he will do in addition to the reporting to the central government, no? Yes, I hope as it is not a substitute to central government reporting. What reporting was required as per section 143.12, that is always required. Apart from that, this also is required. All cools? All cools. Thereafter, ultimately, I hope realize everything was nothing but either company law or finance. All cool? Acha. Thereafter, I think, yeah, that is where we ended. I think we have written the notes on cost audit. Come on, I want you to come to cost audit. Come. Hmm. Okay. Firstly, I want you to read the first 2 points of cost audit, ordered by and applicability. Perfect. Read? Only the first one, step by step. We are not in a hurry, understand everything properly. Read? Okay, now listen. Firstly, I hope you realize this section 148 is on cost audit. When I say cost audit, it is audit of costing records. Now, when I say it is audit of costing records, it is in addition to the normal financial statements audit. Cost audit is not a substitute to the financial statements audit. So if you are a company to whom cost audit is applicable, that does not mean that you will do only cost audit and you will not do the normal financial statements audit. Normal P&L, balance sheet, cash flow has to be audited anyways. Apart from that, all other cost records, whichever are maintained for nothing but I hope normally costing is done for nothing but manufacturing. Okay, basically. So ultimately, whatever are the costing records, how did you ascertain the cost? Then what is the normal loss? What is the abnormal loss? What is the process costing? What is standard? What is marginal? So ultimately, everything which will be maintained for cost separately, you will have to audit that also. Now, when you audit that also, that audit is cost audit. But if you are doing cost audit, so will you not do financial statements audit? No, you will have to do financial statements audit also. It means cost audit is an addition to the financial statements audit. It is not a substitute. All cool? All cool. Achha. Now, it is ordered by whom? It is ordered by the central government. So under section 148, the central government has told to certain companies that you will have to nothing but audit your costing records. Now, to whom cost audit is applicable? Is it applicable to every company? No. Cost audit is applicable to only certain class of companies which are given under Rule 4 of the Companies Rules 2014. How do you remember Rule 4? Very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cost. So ultimately, I hope this Rule 4 is only for. It is nice. Yeah. On what if I do if it is matching every time? Yeah. On now suddenly it seems to match. No. So now listen. So ultimately, according to Rule 4 of the Companies Rules 2014, cost audit is applicable to the following companies. Now, for this purpose, the companies are divided into two categories, Table A and Table B. Table A are the companies which are in the regulated sector. Table B are the companies which are in non-regulated sector. Doubt. What do you mean by companies in the regulated sector? Companies in the regulated sector means for that particular type of business, is there any regulatory authority? For a simple example, if I am into telecom business, then can I say definitely there is a telecom regulatory authority. Then I hope that telecom business becomes nothing but I hope a regulated sector service. On the other hand, say I am into insurance business, then can I say there is IRDA? So that is again a regulatory authority. So wherever there is a regulatory authority, then that company becomes what? Correct. That company comes under regulated sectors. Now do you understand? So wherever there is a regulator, then ultimately that becomes a regulated sector. Where there is no regulator, then that becomes a non-regulated sector. So this is like balancing figure. If there is no regulator, then it comes down. Now, let us take a simple example for that purpose. Say for a simple example, Reliance. Now, obviously the main job of Reliance, you and I both know, is basically nothing but a hopper drilling, oil, etc. everything. Okay. Apart from that, can I say one arm of Reliance is into Geo? Now, if you people appreciate, Geo is doing telecom business also. Do you agree? Now, important to understand. So it has other businesses and it has nothing but telecom business also. Can I say obviously this telecom business is a regulated sector. Now, when will cost audit be applicable to such companies? There is conditions. The overall turnover from all the products and services should be greater than equal to 50 CR. It means the total turnover, say including all the businesses of Reliance, say is 70 crores. In reality, it is 70,000, 1 lakh, 70,000 crores. Huh? So ultimately say it is 70 crores. Okay, now think and answer. Ultimately, can I say this is the overall turnover from all the products and services? So can I say obviously my first condition is satisfied? And the aggregate turnover from the individual product or services for which cost records are required should be minimum 25 CR. So this telecom sector, which is a regulated sector, only from this, say ultimately the turnover is 30 crores. In other words, this was 40, this was 30. So total into 70. Now think and answer. For the telecom, which is a regulated sector, you tell me, is that turnover at least 25 crores? Yes. So is the second condition also satisfied? Yes. Then we said that cost audit is applicable to Reliance. They will have to do cost audit also. But supposing if I tell you that here, this is 70, but say this is only 20 CR. Then if you people appreciate first condition is satisfied, is the second condition satisfied? No. And therefore cost audit will not be applicable, because what you have to do is you have to satisfy both the conditions. You don't have to satisfy anyone. I hope you followed. Wait, repeating. Your cost audit is not applicable to all the companies. It is applicable only to certain class of companies which are covered by Rule 4 of the Companies Rules 2014. For this purpose, your companies have to be divided into two categories. One is Table A, other is Table B. Table A will include all the companies which are into the regulated sector. Table B will include all the companies which are in non-regulated sector. When will it be applicable to the regulated sector? When the overall turnover from all the products and services is minimum 50 CR, and the aggregate turnover from the individual product and services for which cost audit is required is nothing but minimum 25 CR. Only both the conditions are together satisfied, only then cost audit is applicable. Acha, supposing the cost audit is not applicable, so they will not do statutory audit also, no? Statutory audit has to be done. Cost audit, whether it has to be done or not, is what we are discussing. Statutory though will be done only. Acha. Now, say non-regulated sector. It means for any turnover, any company where there is no regulatory authority, then conditions remaining the same, only amounts are different. The overall turnover not less than 100 CR and aggregate turnover not less than 35 CR. What is this? Reams the same statement. All cool. Wait, will you be able to answer applicability? It is applicable to all the companies. No, it is applicable to certain class of companies. Covered by which rule? Yeah, Rule 4. Yeah, of the companies rules. Acha, for this there are two types of companies, right? One is table. Other is table. Table is regulated. Table B is non-regulated. Acha, regulated when? Yeah, overall turnover, aggregate turnover. Overall turnover, aggregate turnover. Overall turnover, how much? Minimum 50 and aggregate minimum 25. Hello. So at least here it is 50. Here at least it should be half. Asha, table B is nothing but I hope realize passing an exam in the college. I hope realize maximum 100 marks. But I hope realize you always have to get minimum 35. All cools? So ultimately I hope realize other things remaining the same. Only difference is ultimately there it is 135, up it is 50 and 25. Acha, what are the examples of regulated sectors and non-regulated sectors? That we will see from the textbook later, once we finish the other things here. All cool? All cool. Come on, shall we go ahead? Okay, come on, read the next two. Qualification and disqualification. Dania. Okay, now qualification, disqualification, both of them are simple but really important also. When you talk about the qualification is again either an individual or a firm. But wait, individual who is a cost accountant, not a chartered accountant. Now, if you people appreciate, there is a difference between cost accountancy and chartered accountancy. Cost accountants, I hope, are members of ICWAI, Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India. I hope chartered accountants are members of ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Here you are doing which audit? Cost audit. So here ultimately the qualification is a chartered accountant or a cost accountant? Cost accountant. In fact, when I say cost accountant, he also should be basically a practicing cost accountant. Just like we people have a COP from ICAI, they have a COP from their institute. So individual cost accountant or a firm of cost accountants. There also the criteria is still the same. Greater than 50% of the partners should be practicing cost accountants. Only when more than 50% of the partners are practicing cost accountants, only then you are qualified. All cool? Okay, let me see how much do you understand. Say X Limited. Say to it cost audit is applicable. Okay. Now say I am Mr. R. I am a chartered accountant. Think an answer. Can I do cost audit? No. Why? So rude. I'm a chartered accountant. No. Why? Because I hope as if you want to do cost audit, chartered accountancy is not the qualification they are asking. Can I say what they are asking for is nothing but correct cost accountancy. Acha. Say I am also. Chalna. I am also a cost accountant, CW. Am I now qualified to do cost audit? Yes, correct. It means, can I say I'm qualified? Achha. But wait, the next point is important now. Come down. Disqualifications. The statutory auditor of the company is disqualified from doing cost audit. Now, what do you mean by this statement? Very simple. The one who is already auditing the financial statements cannot audit the cost records also. Repeating, the one who is auditing the financial statements cannot audit cost records also. Just to give you a simple example, say X Limited, to it cost audit is applicable. Okay, say I'm Mr. R. I'm a practicing chartered accountant also. I'm a practicing cost accountant also. Is it okay? Okay. Now say I'm already appointed as the statutory auditor of the company. So can I say obviously what I will audit is the financial statements? Come on, yeah. Achha. Now think and answer. Think and answer. Now I am a CW also. Can I say I'm qualified to do cost audit also? Achha. But can I do cost audit of this company X Limited? No. Why? Because a statutory auditor of the company cannot do statutory audit also and cost audit also. See, basically it just follows a simple principle that if at all there is any person who is doing statutory audit, if that same person does cost audit also, and that person is doing any fraudulent activity, shareholders will suffer on financial statements ground also, on cost audit grounds also. And therefore there will be too much loss for the financial statements. So we want independence. And therefore to have independence, they have independent people doing both the audits. So Mr. R, even though he is qualified to do both the audits, can he do both the audits of the same company? No. But supposing if I tell you like this, there is another company Y Limited to whom cost audit is applicable. Can I do cost audit of this company? Yes. But can I do statutory audit also of that company? No. Either you can do cost or you can do statutory. You cannot do both of the same company. Is this okay? Okay. Now, important to understand, it means that if you are the statutory auditor, you are not qualified to do correct cost audit. Acha. Now, supposing, say I am to not qualified, okay, to do cost audit of X Limited. Say, supposing now you dash, Mr. S3, Chalna. Say you are a cost accountant. Okay. Are you qualified to do cost audit? Okay. But say you are the employee of this company, X Limited. You are the employee of this company X Limited. Now think and answer. Are you qualified now? No. Why? Because you are the employee. Then use your common sense. If you are the employee, can I say there is no independence and therefore you are qualified or disqualified? Disqualified. Okay, chalo. One more example. Say Mr. S. Okay, cost accountant. Is he qualified first? Yes. Say he is indebted to the company X Limited. Is he qualified? Is he qualified? Why no? Yeah, you are telling so much. Yeah, like this, like this, like this. Can I say you cannot answer right now? Can I say first you have to see the amount? Correct. Did I tell you the amount? No, no. Then what did you answer here? Say ultimately he is indebted for 6 lakhs. Is he qualified? No. Why? Yeah. Why? Yeah. Because it is more than 5 lakhs. Since it is more than 5 lakhs, is disqualified. Now do you understand? See, it means, you know what? I'll make a statement. See if you understand. It means whatever are the disqualifications which are applicable to the statutory auditor are also applicable to the cost auditor. Perfect. What? Whatever are the disqualifications which are applicable to the statutory auditor are also applicable to the cost auditor. And what is the other disqualification? Statutory auditor himself. So basically, statutory auditor himself cannot become, and all other disqualifications which are applicable under section 141(3), those also are equally applicable to the cost audit. All cools? All cools. So come on, tell me qualification first. First. Correct. Either an individual or a firm. Individual when he's a cost accountant, firm of cost accountants when greater than 50% are practicing cost accountants. Asha. Disqualification, first one important. Statutory auditor. And next one, all the disqualifications which are applicable to the statutory auditor under section 141(3). Now, I'll just make one link, see if you understand. You know, previously we had done branch audit, 143(8). Can the statutory auditor become branch auditor of the company? Yes. Can I say he was qualified? If you remember, in India, outside India, statutory. So can the statutory auditor become branch auditor? If you remember, in branch audit, the first qualification was statutory audit. In cost audit, the statutory auditor is the first disqualification. You understood what I'm telling? What was first qualification in branch audit is what is first disqualification in cost audit. It means I can do branch audit of the same company, but I cannot do cost audit of the same company. All cools? All cools. Come on, next one. Read appointment only. Yeah, cost auditor can also be disqualified after appointment. Huh? Same. Yes, same only. Group company is also same. When I say all disqualifications applicable to 141.3, whatever is in 141.3, same only will be applicable. No dash. Come on, ready? Very simple. What about the appointment of the cost auditor? The appointment shall be made by the BOD within a period of how many days? 180 days from the commencement of the financial year. So within 180 days, the BOD have to appoint the cost auditor. However, if there is an audit committee, hum saath hai. Two companies, no, listed and unlisted. So ultimately, if there is an audit committee, then the appointment will be made on the recommendation of the audit committee. So who will recommend whom? The audit committee will recommend to the BOD to appoint the cost auditor. What? The audit committee will recommend the BOD to appoint the cost auditor. Acha, what if there is no audit committee? Then BOD will directly appoint. But if there is an audit committee, then on the recommendation of the audit committee. Now, whenever the appointment of the cost auditor is made, the company should inform two people. One, the cost auditor himself, and the central government. Why? Because it was ordered by central government. So you will have to inform to the CG also about the appointment within 30 days from the DOA. What is DOA? Date of appointment. And you will have to inform them in form CRA2. What? Inform CRA2. What was initially the form? If you remember, there it was ADT1. Here it is not ADT1 or anything. Here it is CRA2. So ultimately, the company will have to file form CRA2 with the CG within 30 days from appointing the cost auditor. All cool? Come on, answer. Appointment who will do? Fast, yeah. BOD. Within how many days? 180 days from the commencement of the financial year. Thereafter, if there is an audit committee, on the recommendation of the audit committee. Acha, thereafter the company has to inform somebody. Yes. Whom? Firstly, the cost auditor that you have been informed. Come. Acha, next is CG. CG, they will do it orally, na? With a loudspeaker. No. Then inform. Which form? CRA2. To be submitted within how many days? 60, 90, 45, 30. Acha. Okay. Come on. Next one. Term. Term is also so simple. Read term and casual vacancy both. Ready? Again, very simple. As far as the term is concerned, his term is till the 180 days from the closure of the financial year. So once your financial year ends, from there till maximum 180 days, he can continue as a cost auditor, or till the time he submits the cost audit report. Logically speaking, whichever is earlier. For a simple example, supposing if I tell you year ends here, obviously year ends on 31st March. Now from here, he can continue till maximum 180 days. from the closure of the financial year. Come on, yeah. Achha. Now, obviously, in this time, he has to submit his report. But supposing if I tell you he submits the report here only, then obviously his term will end here, no? Because he submitted the report. Once you submit the report, thanks for coming. So then you cannot continue till 180 days because you've already submitted the report. So what is the maximum duration till that you can remain the auditor? 180 days from the closure of the financial year. All cool? Achha. So the term is till 180 days from the closure of the financial year or till the time you submit the cost audit report. Logically speaking, whichever is earlier. Okay. Casual vacancy, be simple. I hope I see. Have I done like this? Casual vacancy due to resignation. Casual vacancy other than resignation. Have I done this? No. Can I say any reason? Any reason it will be filled up by the BOD within 30 days of the vacancy. You remember casual vacancy or no? Death, disqualification, resignation, dissolution of the firm. Ha. Achha. Again, I hope you realize when the new auditor is appointed, then the company will have to again tell to the CG that we have appointed the new auditor, again inform CRA 2. Just like you were informing here, you again have to inform here. Only cases here there is a new auditor. All cools? All cools. Come on, read reporting. This is interesting. The last point. Yes, Ragul. Shidi, no. Come on, yeah, done, yeah. Sumaya, that was just for explaining. Yeah. Okay, shall I go ahead? Okay, now listen carefully. The reporting as such is also simple. Firstly, the cost auditor shall report to the BOD. I told you within maximum how many days? 180 days from the closure of the financial year. So firstly, the cost auditor will report to the BOD and he will report to the BOD in a certain form. Which form? CRA3. Okay, BOD CRA3. Thereafter, along with reservations and suggestions, if any. What do you mean by reservations? Disagreements. For a simple example, if I'm the cost auditor and you are the BOD, say you are not following something properly, then ultimately I hope as I told you, please correct it. But you are not correcting it. You are not rectifying it. So now I have a reservation against you. I disagree with you of what you have done. So I have reservations and obviously I can give suggestions also on that. So ultimately the cost auditor will first submit the report to the BOD within maximum 180 days from the closure of the financial year, inform CRA3 along with his disagreements on it and the suggestions to overcome the disagreements. First is this is okay. Okay. Thereafter, what will happen? Wait, it was ordered by the central government, no? So central government should know. No? Then the company, once they receive the report, means the BOD, once they receive the report, they will have to report to the CG. Within how many days? Within 30 days from the date of they are receiving the report. Wait, who is receiving the report? Company. Once the company gets the report, they will have to submit it to the CG within maximum 30 days from the date of its receipt. Along with what? Like that only? No. Along with explanation on every reservation which is there. Wait, who raised the reservation? Cost audit. So if I have a disagreement with the BOD, can I say it is there in my report? Now, when the company will give the report to the CG, company will have to give explanation to the CG that why does the cost auditor have a disagreement with us? And you will have to give explanation on every reservation which is there in the report. And this you will have to inform to them in form CRA4. I don't know how many of you remember when we had done duties of an auditor. If you remember, there was form ADT4. If you remember that ADT4 which was there was for fraud reporting to the central government. There was ADT4, here it is CRA4. So everything which is to be reported to the central government is 4-4. Only thing is I hope right 3 na, CRA3, BOD. So ultimately there it was CRA3, else it is nothing but simple. All cool? Wait, tell me how the reporting will happen. Tell. Correct. Firstly, the cost auditor will report to the BOD within a period of 180 days from the closure of the financial year. Achha. Along with what? Reservations and suggestions, if any. What is reservations? Disagreement. So if at all I have any disagreement, can I tell to them? Yes. Can I give suggestions? Yes. Thereafter, once the company receives the report, they will have to tell it to the central government within how many days? 30 days from the date of its receiving the report. Along with what? Explanation on every reservation. So ultimately, you will have to tell to them, why did it happen? Why disagreement? Like that. Explain them. In which form? CRA2. No. CRA3. No. Acha, CRA4. Acha, everything is 4 only. 4 for whom? Acha, and what about BOD? BOD you have to report in? Oh, acha. Is this okay? Okay. Lastly, the notes are very simple. Read, I'll explain, and then we revise entirely, and you will tell me the answer. CRA, there is no full form. Basically, it is like cost rules. Just like ADT, there is no full form as such, but it is used as short form for audit. CRA is, you can say, cost and rules accounts, like that. Why is central government more interested in cost audit? Central government is interested in everything, madam. Central government has a big nose. So ultimately, if you people realize, Caro also was central government only. That was also there, no? Caro was interested, obviously, by the central government for normal companies also. Forget cost audit. That was for normal financial statements. Here, though, they are now interested in cost audit also. It is for a simple reason that central government wants to know whether the company is not committing any fraud as far as tax evasion is concerned, because it is the government's money, no? That is the only reason. Else they are not bothered also. Who is doing what? Anyways, they are not bothered. You can see also. Hey, come on, yeah, Danya. Come on. See, firstly, they say that cost audit is not applicable to certain companies. Firstly, companies whose export revenue is greater than 75% of the total revenue. Now, I hope why so? It is because I hope you are contributing towards the nation because you are doing more export and you are getting the revenue for that. So, supposing if I tell you that the total turnover is 100 CR, out of that, say ultimately your export turnover is 80 CR. So, is it greater than 75%? Yes, then ultimately cost audit is not applicable to that company. You come in the exempted category. Thanks for coming. Achha. Secondly, any companies which are operating from SEZ, special economic zone. If you are there in this nothing but special economic zone, then ultimately I hope realize you also. Thanks for coming. Do your business. Cost audit not applicable. Next, cost auditor shall comply with all the cost accounting standards which are issued by their institute. Just like our institute have issued standards on auditing. For cost accounting standards, there are nothing. For cost audit, there is cost accounting standards. So cost auditor has to follow cost accounting standards. And lastly, penalty provisions are the same as statutory auditor under section 147. You remember we had made a chart of that penalty. In that penalty, you know, there were auditors. In that auditors, am I only talking about statutory auditor? No. Am I also talking about the cost auditor? Yes. In fact, that is the same for the branch auditor also. It means when I say auditors, it is the statutory plus branch plus cost. Do one thing. Come to that penalty chart. Come. Notebooks. You see auditors written. Which auditors are we talking about here? Write down stat plus branch plus cost. Come on, yeah, manageable. Okay, now you will have to answer. Huh? Come on. Firstly, can you tell me cost audit is ordered by whom? Central government. Correct. What about applicability? Applicability, can I say that depends upon nothing but the companies which are covered by Rule 4 of the Companies Rules 2014. For this purpose, the class of companies are divided into how many categories? Two categories. Table A and Table B. Table A is regulated. Table B is non-regulated. Basically, what do you mean by regulated? For all those businesses where there is a regulator, then that comes under regulated sector. If there is no regulator, then it is non-regulated sector. Achha. When is the regulated sector companies required to do cost audit? When the overall turnover from all the products and services is minimum 50 crores, okay, and the turnover only from that particular product and service 25 crores. Achha. What about non-regulated? It is 135. Perfect. So it is 50, 25, 135. Okay. Thereafter, can you tell me what about the qualification? Correct. Can I say qualification is a cost accountant individual? Achha, can it be a firm also? Yes. But can I say majority of the cost accountants have to be practicing? Okay. What about disqualification? The statutory auditor can become the cost auditor. No. Achha, so statutory auditor is qualified or disqualified? Disqualified. Achha, is there any other disqualifications? Yes. All other disqualifications which are applicable to the statutory auditor. So if you're an employee, if you're a partner employee of the officer or employee indebted for more than 5 lakh, can enter more than 1 lakh security. Achha. Thereafter, can you tell me appointment who will appoint? The BOD within a period of 180 days from the commencement of the financial year. Achha. If there is an audit committee, can they recommend? Achha. You have to submit certain form for appointment. Which form? You? CRA2. Achha. Who will submit? Company. Achha. To whom? CG. Within how many days? 30 days from the date of appointment. Okay, okay. Thereafter, can you tell me casual vacancy if there is there, who will fill up? Achha. BOD. Within how many days? 30 days. Achha. And thereafter, new auditor that you are appointed, do you have to tell anybody again? Yes. To whom will you tell? Correct. I hope I to the CG under nothing but I hope I same form CRA2. Achha. Thereafter, what is the term of the auditor? 180 days from the closure of the financial year. Achha. Or what? Or till the time he submits the cost audit report. Logically speaking, whichever is earlier. Perfect. What about reporting? Cost auditor will report to whom? To BOD. Achha. Within how many days? 180 days. Along with something? Yes. Along with the explore? No. Reservations and suggestions, if any. Achha. Thereafter, in which form we will submit? CRA3. How do you remember? BOD, no? CRA3. Achha. Then the company will report to whom? CG. Achha. In how many days? Achha. 30 days of its receiving the report. Achha. Along with anything? Explanation on any reservation which is there. In which form? CRA4. Achha. Cost audit is applicable to every company whose export is greater than 75%. No, it is not applicable. Exempted. Thanks for coming. Achha, what if you are operating from a SEC? Again, exempt. Achha, cost auditor has to comply with certain standards. Standards on auditing. No, cost accounting standards, not standards on auditing. Dash. Achha. And lastly, penalty provisions are different. No, what are the penalty provisions? Achha, same only. Achha, same as the statutory auditor. Under which section? Yeah. 147. Perfect. All cools? Come to the textbook. Huh. All this, whatever is given, not required. Just come here. List of regulated and non-regulated sectors. See, First, they have given list of regulated sectors and then non-regulated sectors. You don't have to learn them. It is because in examinations, normally they have not asked what are the companies which are under regulated and companies which are under non-regulated. But just for information, just for knowledge, you can just have it. So telecommunication services, then generation, transmission of electricity, petroleum, drugs and pharmaceuticals, fertilizer, sugar and industrial alcohol. On the other hand, I hyperlize in non-regulated sectors, arms and ammunition, steel and cement, edible oil, jute products, roads and infrastructure, rubber. Blah, blah, blah. बराबर कहाँ कोई रेगुलेटर है हाँ यार मतलब it is basically for nothing but examples that these are examples of regulated and non-regulated. No learning is required. Come on here, all cools. I hope you will be able to write in the exam if at all they ask you cost or data. It is not that difficult. Now do one thing, come behind to the case studies. For you, it is page number 313. I think there are certain cases which are still left. No, let us just finish them. Yeah. Which one? Yes or no? So tell me later. No, yeah. What has happened to you? Yeah. So this one, roll 4. Come. Acha. Now some people are wondering where is joint audit in the textbook? Where is audit committee in the textbook? Arey, why are you so bothered? You are getting to learn that is not enough. Your standards on auditing 299, which is there now. Cost or your joint audit is there. So ultimately, go find homework. Why you are interested where it is? If it is there done, then why you are not bothered? Come now. Acha, 1 done, 2 done, 3 done, 4 done, 5 done, 6 done, 7 done, 8 done, 9 is left, no? Come. Let us do 9. Have a look. XYZ Limited, a public company having paid up capital of rupees 9 crores, but having turnover of 150 crores, will be required to constitute an audit committee under section 177 because the requirement of constitution of audit committee arises if the company falls into any of the prescribed category. Examine. Oh, bapre. Can I say basically they are just asking us whether audit committee is applicable or not. Now you remember audit committee applicability 177. How many companies are there? 2 companies. One is listed, other is unlisted. Listed, can I say compulsory? What about unlisted? How many conditions? 3 conditions. How do you remember? Companies 2, conditions 3. Acha, can I say it is push loan turnover? Minimum how much? 10, minimum 50, minimum 100. Perfect. Now let us have a look at the question, the case. XYZ Limited, a public company. Acha, have they told it is a listed company? No. So can I say if they have not told listed company, it will be an unlisted company. So can I say it falls in this category? Okay. Having paid up capital of 9 crores. So think and tell. Is the first condition satisfied? No. Okay. Second condition, turnover of 150 crores. Is this condition satisfied? Turnover? Yes. Okay. Have they given you information with respect to loans? No. But think and answer. Is it required now? No. Why no? Because you have to satisfy anyone. Array, turnover condition is already satisfied. Then why do you require information about loans? So ultimately, my simple question, even if that information is not there, does it matter? No. Can I say our answer will be it is applicable? Array, do you understand? Dash. It is because we don't have to satisfy all. We have to satisfy any. Will you be able to write an exam? Now wait, let me just do a bit of a modification. Supposing it will like this. XYZ Limited, a listed public company. They have paid up 9 crores turnover like this. Will you check conditions? No. Can I say then you should be blind to the conditions? Why? Because it is listed now. Once it is listed, can I say it is compulsory? You don't have to look at any condition. Even if this was say 50 crores, does it matter? No. Because since it is listed, it is compulsory. All cools? All cools. Come on, read. Huh. Yeah. Listed, so obviously you have to take only when they give you listed. If they don't write the words listed, then by default it is unlisted only. See, just like by default it is a non-government company, by default it is a unlisted company. Shall we? Come on, 9th done, 10th also done. Yeah, in fact that was the first case that we had done together. Asha, thereafter, wait, let us do 12 first. Come to 12. Ashu. Ashu Private Limited has fully paid up capital and reserves of 50 lakhs. During the year, the company has borrowed 70 lakhs each from a bank and a financial institution independently. It has turnover of rupees 900 lakhs. Comment on whether Caro 2016 is applicable. Now be very careful. They are talking about Caro's applicability. If you remember Caro, we had done in great detail. In fact, today also we revised. Can I say firstly, it is about private company. Can I say for private company, we had made a chart. If you remember the chart, I hyperbolized 3 branches. Subsidiary of a public, holding of a public. Wait, have they given you anywhere it is a holding or a subsidiary of a public? No. Then it falls in which category? Third category, which is the balance companies. For balance companies, what do? You check conditions. How many conditions? 3 conditions. What was the first condition? Can I say paid up share capital plus reserves should be less than equal to 1 CR? Second one, outstanding loans and borrowing should be less than equal to 1 CR, and turnover should be less than equal to 10 CR. Do you agree? By the way, can I say these are and conditions? So you'll have to satisfy all. Now one by one. Come on. First is paid up capital and reserves 50 lakhs. Is 50 lakhs less than equal to 1 CR? Yes. So is the first condition satisfied? Yes. Second, they have borrowed 70 lakhs each from the bank and financial institution. Can I say, let us talk about this condition a bit later. Okay. And lastly, it has turnover of 900 lakhs. What is 900 lakhs? Can I say 9 crores? Is 9 crores less than equal to 10 CR? So is the third condition also satisfied? Now tell me about the second condition, 70 lakhs loan. So can I say if it is 70 lakhs loan, can I say third condition is also satisfied? Come on, yeah. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? You don't know English? English is start in some other language. Dash, you cannot see this word each. It is 70 lakhs each from a bank and financial institution. It means from a bank also you took 70 lakhs. From financial institution also you took 70 lakhs. So total, how much is your loan? Correct. Your loan is 1.4 CR. Now, is 1.4 CR less than equal to 1 CR? No. Is the second condition satisfied? No. Then use common sense. If the second condition is not satisfied, anyone is not satisfied, then Caro will become applicable. So can I say my answer should be that Caro is applicable? See, one word no will cost you 4 marks. I hope realize that each, if you meet that each, then you are gone. 4 marks. All cools? Come on, reads. Huh. Somebody is like, not applicable. 70 lakh. What is the problem? Dania. Come on. Now come to question 11. The head accountant of the company entered fake invoices of credit purchases in the books of accounts, aggregating to rupees 50 lakhs, and cleared all the payments to such bogus creditor. What is your duty as an auditor? See, at least by reading this, you understand that there is a fraud of 50 lakhs. Do you agree? Now, if it is a fraud of 50 lakhs, use your common sense. Can I say, obviously, your duty is to report the fraud? But think and answer. Is it more than 1 CR? Is it equal to 1 CR? Is it less than 1 CR? Yes. So do you report to the CG? No. But at least do you report to the BOD? Yes. Do you report to the audit committee as the case may be? Yes. So ultimately two things are required. Auditor have to report to the BOD or the audit committee as the case may be within 2 days. And he has to write in his report, nature of the fraud, amount of the fraud, parties involved. And the board of directors also have to disclose in their report the nature of the fraud, amount of the fraud, parties involved, remedial action taken if any. Acha. Not only that, can I say if Caro is applicable to this company, then you will have to report on fraud clause for Caro also, no? So can I say that also plus Caro? Do you agree? Come on, read it. You remember quite a lot, huh? Not bad. I likes. The remedial action taken, etc. Also you answer well, yeah. सर याद है तेरे को ऐसा कैसा रे कैसा हो गया ऐसा हाँ दिमाग रहन देना तू और नहीं तो क्या चमड़ी Tanya, come on, let's go ahead. Next, 13th then. Have a look. The company has dispensed. What do you mean by dispensed? Oh, English. Given up. Just like many must have given up on you. Like that. No, I'm just saying it like that. Just to explain your concept. Yeah. Okay. The company has dispensed, that is given up, with the practice of taking inventory of their inventories at the year end, as in their opinion the exercise is redundant. What is redundant? Useless. Useless, I'm telling you. Useless starts with you. What will I do? Am I telling you anything? Oh, I told no. Yeah. Correct. Time consuming and intrusion. Oh, English. What is intrusion, yeah? Come on, yeah. Intrusion is simple, yeah. This much English you should know, yeah. Poking the nose, coming in between. Intrusion. Come on, yeah. Give me the meaning of it. I'll write in simple word. Unnecessarily getting involved. Can I say? Basically, I hope it is disturbance. You are disturbing my work. That is the meaning of intrusion. Right on. Intrusion. Disturbance to the normal functioning of the operations. Explain the reporting requirement under CARO 2016. Now see, be very careful. Huh? They are only asking you about CARO 16 reporting. Can I say it is with respect to inventory? This much do you understand, no? Now wait, let us understand the case again. The company has dispense that is given up with the practice of taking inventory. Taking is basically, I hope, is counting. Okay, counting the inventory of their inventories at the year end, as in their opinion. Their opinion, whose opinion? Company's opinion. The exercise is redundant, time consuming, and intruding the normal functioning of the business. Wait, it means the management is telling that we don't want to calculate this stock rate. We will not do this physical verification of the stock rate. It is time pass. We are not going to do. Is it okay? Is it okay? Management will not do. Is it okay? No. What did I tell you in Caro? I hope as the auditor has to check whether the management has conducted physical verification or not. So who has to conduct physical verification of the inventory? Management. Will the auditor do? No. Auditor will check whether management has done properly or not. Then use your brains. Are common sense use? No brains. Why? For this thing only you're using so much. Use common sense. Can I say ultimately here what the management is telling is proper or it is dash? Dash. In fact, they have to check that at regular intervals. So in exam, you'll write like this. The management, what they are telling, their conclusion is they are dash. So ultimately, can I say as per Caro? Correct. They have to check. Come on, read. Huh. Now every time whenever there is a certain number, people keep on asking me, do you have to remember number? Number? Huh? Caro clause number, this is two. Do we have to remember clause number? Section, do we have to remember section number? You have to remember every number. Do we have to remember this number, that number individually? Huh. Somebody is like, give me your number also. So rude. Should have been right. Dania. Come on, let's go ahead. Can I say 14th already done? Can I say 15th also already done? 16th. Hello. Under what circumstances retiring auditor cannot be reappointed? Hey, this we have done, yeah? Correct. Can I say his term has expired? He is disqualified. Specific resolution is passed expressly that the retiring auditor can not be reappointed or someone else has to be reappointed. Hello. Acha, he is not willing to be reappointed. In other words, he has expressed unwillingness to continue. Hello. Acha, there was one more. No resolution is passed. So ultimately, if no resolution is passed, then also he cannot be reappointed. All cool? All cool. So this we have already done in the notebooks, huh? So not required. Again, just bus, that's it. Can I say all the case studies are done? I hope you will be able to answer case studies, huh? Yeah. I also told you how to answer. First, you answer the correct with respect to the provision. Then the next para with respect to the facts of the case. Obviously, then the conclusion part. Conclusion should be there in the second paragraph only. All cools? Okay. Come ahead in the textbook. There is one last thing which is remaining. Here. This recommendation process you will find somewhere. Hmm. 284 as per some reliable sources. In that down you will find manner of selecting the auditor. Did you find? Come there. But only this chart we people have to do. See, Manner of selecting the auditor is given under section 139(11). Read with nothing but CAR 2014. What is CAR? Yeah. Correct. Can I say it is companies audit and auditors rules? Now, see, how do you select an auditor? Obviously, can I say selection of an auditor either will happen by the BOD or audit committee as the case may be? Now, so ultimately, can I say, obviously that depends upon whether audit committee is there or not. Can I say audit committee was under section 177? Can I say obviously only if there is an audit committee, they can recommend. If there is no audit committee, they can't recommend. So check. Firstly, how to select an auditor? Very simple. First check whether section 177 is applicable to the company or not. So either it is applicable or it is not applicable. Now what is section 177? You already know. Can I say it is on audit committee? Achha, if section 177 is not applicable, then who will recommend the name of the auditor? Correct, BOD. Then BOD will recommend the name of the auditor to the members. That okay, shareholders, we people have recommended so and so auditor. Okay. Achha. On the other hand, if there is an audit committee, then who will recommend the name? Correct, audit committee. So see, audit committee recommends the name of the auditor to the BOD. Yeah? So first audit committee will tell it to the BOD. Then BOD obviously will decide no whether they want to appoint that person or someone else. So BOD can either agree or they can disagree. So see, the BOD agrees or the BOD disagrees. If the BOD agrees, no problem. Then you recommend the name of the auditor to the members. Tell it to the shareholders that we people have agreed on the recommendation of the audit committee that so and so person should be the auditor. You understood what happened? If there is an audit committee, I hope firstly they will recommend the name to the BOD. Okay. Thereafter BOD two options. Either they will agree or they will disagree. If they agree, then whatever is the name recommended, the BOD will then tell it to the shareholders that so and so name is recommended. But supposing if BOD disagrees, will they tell it to the members directly? No. Then they should tell to the audit committee, no. Okay, oh audit committee, we are not in agreement with this name. Find somebody else. So then if the BOD disagrees, then what to do? Then check. The BOD communicates the reasons for disagreement. Why you are not very happy with the recommendation of the audit committee, and give your own recommendation to the audit committee. Supposing say ultimately the audit committee recommended Mr. R, but BOD do not like Mr. R. Say BOD likes Mr. S. So then Mr. S will be nothing but the recommendation which now the BOD will tell to the audit committee. So now it is going reverse. So now audit committee also has two options. Either they will agree or they will disagree. Now, if the audit committee agrees, then very simple now. If audit committee agrees, yes, Mr. S is also good. Then very simple. BOD will recommend the name of the auditor to the members. Here the name of the auditor will be Mr. S. Now, if the audit committee disagrees, then no. You did not like our auditor, no? Huh? We also don't like your auditor. Then if the audit committee disagrees, then what will happen? Then the BOD recommends the name of the auditor directly to the members, who ultimately I hope realize that Mr. S. And BOD submits a statement in writing to the members for reason of disagreement with the audit committee, which initially they had recommended. You understood what happened? Wait, again, one by one. Huh? It is very simple, yeah. Firstly, I hope realize selecting the auditor, how it will happen. That will depend upon whether audit committee is applicable to the company or not. If audit committee is applicable, then only the problem is there. If audit committee is not applicable, very simple. BOD will recommend. Go recommend. Finish. Achha, if audit committee is applicable, then obviously audit committee will recommend the name of the auditor to the BOD. Correct. So firstly, the audit committee will tell to the BOD. Then obviously there are two options. No, BOD will either correct agree or they will disagree. If they agree, then the BOD will tell it to the shareholders. If they disagree, then obviously the BOD will tell to the audit committee, no, that we disagree with you. Then they will give their own name. To whom? To the audit committee. Then audit committee's chance is there now, either to agree or disagree. If they agree to what ultimately now the BOD is telling, then ultimately whatever is agreed will be told to the shareholders. If they disagree, then still the BOD will tell it to the shareholders. And ultimately the reason will be given for disagreements. That is the last part. If the audit committee disagrees, whatever name you have recommended, say Mr. S, Then BOD will recommend the name of the auditor to the members, Mr. S, and ultimately BOD will submit a statement in writing to the shareholders giving reasons why they disagreed with the audit committee for Mr. R. All cool? Bus. This is the only thing which is there. Apart from that, so there is nothing else which is left out. All cools? All cools. Come to the beginning. Yeah, finally the members. Yeah. First auditor will be appointed directly by the BOD. Yeah. Whatever is provisions given in first audit, etc., that is there always. Apart from that, we are talking about. Come to the beginning of the chapter. Come. See, now these are the points which are basically covered. Okay, just tell me whether they are done or not. So if it is not done, we know that it is yet to be done. Acha, eligibility and qualification, done. Thereafter disqualification, done. Thereafter appointment of an auditor we had of a government company, non-government company, first auditor, subsequent auditor. Can I say both of them done? Casual vacancy, done. Remuneration, done. Removal, done. If you remember removal, three things were there. I hope you realize this was initiated by the BOD, this was initiated by the shareholder, and this was by the NCLT. Acha, thereafter rights and duties had two things, rights and duties. Can I say done? In fact, there was an extra question also that we people did was nothing but that right of lien is a conditional or unconditional. You remember conditional? ICAI had told. ICIL, ICAW. Oh yeah, not bad, yeah. Huh? Acha. Thereafter, duties of an auditor, done. Penalties of an auditor, done. Branch audit, done. Caro 2016, done. Cost audit, done. Write down, joint audit. Can I say joint audit also, done. So have we covered everything, whatever is there? Case studies also, done. Finally done. Now, just the last thing before we people can take a break. Listen, somebody is like, break, sir. When break, sir? 10 minutes of break. Huh? Shut up. Now, I hope you realize here there are sections. Yeah. Now, the problem is ultimately, I hope you realize you'll have to remember the sections. But you can remember the sections only if you people learn the sections. But you cannot learn the sections turning the pages, no? You cannot keep on turning the pages and learn the sections. If you want to learn the sections, all the sections should be under one roof. Do you agree? In that scenario, can I say basically it is better that we people make a list of sections. Once we people make a list of sections, it is always better to learn the sections. Then how to learn the sections? Very simple. Basically give by heart to somebody. For a simple example, I normally used to give it to my mom. Okay. So basically I hope I used to tell mom, you tell the section, I will tell you the provision. Then ultimately mom used to tell section. Okay. Then I used to tell provision. Then reverse. Mom used to tell me the provision, I used to tell the section. So it goes both ways. In fact, till final C, I have continued to study like that only. Whatever I learn, I used to give my by heart to nothing but my mom. It is just like how it used to happen when we were in schools, no? Yeah. Ultimately, you learn and somebody sits with you and you give by heart to somebody. You have done that, or you are just from nothing but another planet altogether? You have done it, no? Exactly. The problem is that when you people become big, no, like you come in colleges, you cease to do that. I hope that was the way that you people were almost doing that for the entire childhood. Now, then why to leave till final CA? Do it like that only. You used to it. I though used to do that. I was comfortable. What embarrassment? It's okay. That's better. At least I became chartered. No, nobody asks now. See. Now shut up and come. Notebooks. Write down list of sections. Will you write yourself? One. No, I have to do. Acha. Why? Yeah. You can't do yourself. Yeah. Then no, sir. What will we do ourselves, sir? Give exam also on our behalf, sir. See, the problem of giving CA exams again is I'm not very sure whether I'll clear or not. To be very honest, some things are always done once only. Best. Some things are always best done once only. Now, whatever you can think of that, I mean, that's fine, but Arey, this list of sections, no re baba. Only this much you will learn. Dash. Let me do my job now. Very naughty, yeah. Come make two columns. By the way, along with this company audit, I also told you that you have to prepare for company law, huh? That I told you in the very first lecture of company audit. That when you prepare for company audit, do company law also. Write down sections and here the provision. We'll have to go one by one. Shall we start? Don't leave lines, huh? Leaving lines not required. Come on, 141. Can I say qualifications? Try to remember also. It is just like a quick recap. Thereafter, 141.3. Disqualifications. Thereafter, 141.4. Disqualifications after appointment. After that, we people had done 141 3G and all, no? Ceiling limits. 145 also signature, but that will write in duties. Just write down 141 3G ceiling limits. Acha, how much was the ceiling limits? 40 companies, no? Oh, 20 only. Oh, acha. I'm just asking. Acha, per partner then 40, no? Oh, per partner only 20 only. Acha, if it is in full time, 20 only, no? Zero. Part time is okay. Acha, acha. Thereafter, appointment of an auditor, then 139 6 7 1 5. What is 6715? Yeah, correct. Can I say first auditor, then again first auditor, then subsequent auditor, then again subsequent auditor, but non-government, government, non-government, government. Dania, come on. Acha. Thereafter 139 8. Come on here, anybody? Casual vacancy. Hmm. See, I'm telling you now, it requires nothing but a bit of learning for learning the sections. Then 139 2. अरे यार चल ठीक है ओके. Rotation of auditors. अच्छा rotation individual after 10 years, no? Individual after 5 years. Firm 10 years. अच्छा they can be appointed for straight 10 years. Firm. तो अच्छा 5 years 5 years. Oh अच्छा 2 into 5. Oh अच्छा. Thereafter 140 subsection 2. It was 140 subsection 2 only, no? Just check in that casual vacancy. That 140 subsection 2, you have to submit form ADT 3 for resignation. Just check which section it was. Check under casual vacancy. It will be written. In case of resignation, the auditor has to submit as per section so and so. 142, no? Right down. Submission of form ADT 3. Can I say this is in case of resignation? You found or no? You find casual vacancy, you will find it. You saw section 140 subsection 2. Then there is section 140 subsection 3. This is for what? For penalty for non-compliance of section 140 subsection 2. Correct? Thereafter, what did we have here? Which? Thereafter, we did rights and duties, or what? We did branch audit. No? Let us take branch audit first. Right on. Branch audit was what? 143.8. Branch audit. Thereafter, 144. What was 144 here? Correct. List of services which are to be rendered or not to be rendered? Not to be rendered. So write down specialized services. Any key? What? Imandare. How many services? 9. Oh, acha. Rendered. Thereafter we did branch audit. Then there was, I think, rights and duties. No. In that rights and duties, we will have to see one by one. In that rights, there is 143.1 and 143.2, if I'm not wrong. Wait. See, 143.1, right of access to the books of accounts. Come. Please refer this list of sections. Huh? There was, I think, 143.2, right to report to the members. Yeah, we forgot that section 142. Yeah, remuneration of an auditor. We'll write it. Hmm? Removal, will write all the three together. Write down remuneration. Quotation तो लिखा ना 139.2. क्या नहीं, ये रहा ना 139.2. ये ले. Thereafter, we'll write all the three removals. 140 subsection 1, 140 subsection 4, 140 subsection 5. 1 plus 4. I hope you realize this is removal before expiry. Can you tell me this is by whom? Yeah, this is by the Beode. Thereafter, this is appointment of auditor other than retiring auditor. In other words, this is removal by whom? Yeah, by the shareholders. Correct. All shareholders can give a special notice, no? No, only correct 1% of voting rights or 5 lakhs minimum paid up share capital. And this is removal by the NCLT. Not bad, yeah. If there is a test, you'll be able to answer as such, yeah. We should keep a test on company audit. What's it? Yeah. Oral test, yeah. I love when it is in the class, yeah. That oral test is very nice. The first half an hour, I always do that in the lecture. I tell them to nothing but learn. Till then, I can relax also. What do you do for relaxation more? So rude. You think I'm like that? Yeah. Yes. Why to lie? Yeah. It's okay. Come on, yeah. Then I think we have all the duties, yeah. I think first was 143.1 only. If you just check. See, duty to inquire. It is the same. This also is same only, yeah. Section 143.1. Right of access to the books of accounts. So it is right of auditor to access books of accounts and the duty which is given under the same section 143.1. 143.1, write down duty to inquire on certain matters. This is basically the important one, which is audit inquiry. If you remember, there is a key. Love to dil se dil Next, duty to report on certain matters. Then I think 143.4, duty to give reasons. Reasons for negative remarks. And I think there was 143.9 if I'm not wrong. Let me check. Correct. 143.9 duty to comply auditing standards. Thereafter 143.10 CG prescribes standards on auditing. 143.2 we have not written right to report to members. We have written here it is. See. Thereafter 43.11 duty to report any other matter by CG. Now just imagine here, so many sections we have done here. I know. 143.12 duty to report frauds to the CG. 45 duty to sign. 46 duty to attend the general meetings. Duty also right also together. If you don't follow the duties, then 147 penalty. 147.1 is actually penalty for company and its officers, and 147 2 and 3 is penalty for auditors. 177 is not come yet. Come on, yeah, Dania. Then we have section 177, which is on audit committee. That's there. Branch audit has come. 143.8. It has come. How many times it will come? 148 will be there, no cost audit. But from there is any duty which is remaining. We'll write the rules also, but let me just see the sections first. Caro already done 143.11 is fine. 148 cost audit, but that's it. Fair enough. Thereafter, we have just leave a line SA 299, which is responsibilities of joint auditors. Not required here, that section. 9 and 10. You may write so. Thereafter, we'll write all the forms here, whichever are there. Branch audit has come here, 143.8 if I'm not wrong. See? Write down form ADT 1, 2, 3, and 4. ADT 1 is on appointment of the statutory auditor. Second is removal. Third was resignation. And fourth was fraud reporting to CG. Thereafter, it was form CRA 34. This was regarding appointment. This was appointment of the cost auditor. Perfect. And 3 was basically reporting to the BOD. The last was reporting to the CG. $143.11 Caro has come, I think. See. Other matter, no, other matter is Caro only, no. So other matter is basically Caro. We had rules also. Rule 7 was on removal, 7 letters. Then there was rule 13, which was, I think, fraud reporting to CG. Yes, that's fraud once a year. Then there was rule 4, which was for applicability cost audit. There was one more rule which we did today, which was manner of appointment selection of an auditor. That's okay. That's not that widely asked. This is enough. These many rules. the end, you just write down notes A while preparing company audit, also prepare for company law. Please refer requesting case studies, company audit, pages. Please can you help me with your page numbers of cases? I think it starts at 313 if I'm not wrong. I don't know where it ends. Just take case studies that we did today. 313 to what here? 317. 317 textbook. Come on, yeah, manageable. Very manageable here. These are like more than sufficient for you to nothing but learn. Rule 12 of Caro you wish to write, you can write, that's fine. But then this is majorly enough. All cool? All cool. So with this, what we can definitely finally say, SA 600 don't write, we have not done. SA 600 all that later, don't worry. With this, definitely what we can say is what we have finished is finally company audit. Big chapter, yeah. Let's take a break and then we start with that small chapter. All cools? Come on, break of how much you want. 15 minutes, 15 minutes? Crazy. 20 minutes. Oh, super crazy. Chal, it's 11:42 now. Chal, I'll meet you at 11:57. Fair enough. Go.